Hiya and welcome. I'm making up numbers and this is another video. Themes for this one is difficult to pinpoint, I think. Lots of good points to take, had really good races, you'll see. It's just another daily race. This is my fastest qualifying lap. I like the concept, rather it was rather than picking a car that you owned, you had to pick out of a selection, which I guess is going some way to even the field as far as the individual car's performance is concerned, and just focus on who drives them better. I picked the Scirocco for no other reason other than a friend of mine's got one and he's driven us to play golf a few times, and it's really fast, faster than my car, so that's why I chose it. It's as simple as that. So this is the fastest lap, and it was one of those moments again when there's green sectors in each lap that I did once I'd let my way around the track, and just struggled to string them together. But as I went on in the race, actually, I think I managed to do that a lot better, hitting braking points precisely and getting around the corners at least as fast as my talent will let me. So going on to themes again, there's just one big incident really in this race, as you will see, which completely ruined it for me. Otherwise, what was going to be a really good result and the product of an effort that I put in practicing. As you can see, I've done, this is lap 10, and I think I did one more after this in preparation to try and get around as quick as I can, and hopefully have a good performance after I was punted out by a guy in the previous race. And although I made back the position, it just left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. And well, a similar thing happens, and what only I can assume is obvious and complete racism against me. I'm not being serious now, to make it up. But yeah, I get ganged up on, I think, by two Frenchmen who one transpires to take me out, and as you'll see. But that's the qualifying done. I can't remember what it was now, but here we are. So as we go into the race, I qualified, fortunately, quite well in second. And I'm really chuffed about that. A guy in the McGann with just a few tenths of a second ahead of me on his qualifying lap. But very close field otherwise, apart from one guy at the back made 2:10 perhaps. He's really quite new. So here we go. Plan for the first corner was try and stay out of trouble as much as I can. I think track position when you start in second there doesn't really do you any favours. It's difficult to know what angle people are going to come in at and how they're going to take, so I took it slow and managed to avoid most of the trouble, just a small amount of contact there, and just came out of the corner in second, albeit losing some time on the guy in front, but no damage done. Everyone's still intact, no penalties that I can see, and yeah, so successfully executed plan into that corner as we start trying to make up the gap between us and the chap in first. But the German ahead, actually, as I go really wide on that corner, the German ahead actually has a really good first lap and extends that lead somewhat ahead of me, and you know, there's not much I could do. I was driving as fast as I could, although I was really nervous. Actually, I could feel my heart in my chest, having qualified in second. That would be a great result to finish in. So that was the plan. If I can overtake him, great. If not, happy to settle for second as we come down this corner, and I've made up nearly a second and a half on the guys in third, so I'm pulling away slowly and happy with that. The field does change behind me, and the two French guys, you can see the chap in third and the chap in sixth, at the moment come up right up behind me, and as I said, conspire, one of them to just take me out of the race, and we'll get to that as it comes. That's not quite yet. So as we finish the first lap, the chap in first is nearly 3 seconds. We'll probably make up some of that time on the straight. I think the cars are quite evenly matched. but I think the Scirocco has slightly more straight line speed. I might be wrong with that, but I think the Megane just goes around the corners really well, slightly better than my car. So as we're coming into the straight, it is, as we started, second, and a successful first lap apart from going wide on that one corner, but no significant damage done. And fortunately now the guy in first just made an error and really didn't need to. I was quite way behind him, but obviously just missed his braking point, and there we go. So I take first position, and then the nerves really started to come in. I was ahead. He dropped back into third, so he's probably going to make up that second position. I thought to myself, he was really fast with his corners, but as long as I can put in some decent solid laps, I've got a good gap between me and the chap in second. If I can just keep going, I thought to myself, it's only a 4-lap race and I can see this out. So that was the plan. Just don't try and push it too hard, make sure I stay on the track, don't spin out, and just put in decent laps and try and maintain that gap at about a second was my idea. Less than a second was okay, because obviously you lose time and then gain some as you go through the technical bits. But on average, about a second I thought was sensible, and that maintains really all the way through, as the two Frenchmen in second and third have now taken their places behind me, hunting me down. But as you'll see, not really gaining too much time. I'm not entirely sure what happened with this German around the corner, whether he just stopped, or I know he probably had to serve a penalty, but was he just giving up, which I don't know. But anyway, so that's him out of the race, and me still in first, a little bit sloppy, but not doing badly. I know the layout of the track. I know which direction I need to go. I'm leading the race. The onus is on the guys behind me to try and catch me, and that's what they try and do. So I'm just going to fast forward lap 3, because it's just me going around with these guys behind me. The gap maintains, it shortens down here because obviously my slipstream and coming up behind me, but the gap is maintained basically throughout this lap. It sort of fluctuates slightly, and going into the final lap I maintain my first position, settled in, a little less nervous, and just happy. You can see that they're quite a distance behind me on the replay there, but still coming up quite quickly when they want to on the corners. So just try and maintain. Don't do anything stupid, as the guy tries to make a move, I think fairly there, but just can't quite make it stick. So he's in the Scirocco, and I know this, so I know he's as fast as me. But I think, because I qualified in second and he didn't, that I know the course slightly better, and I can maintain this speed, and he'll have to either try and under-brake me on a corner, or try and get in my slipstream on the straight, but I just don't think that it's long enough on this track to do that. I might be wrong. Now, the incident happens just as we come around this fast section. The only thing, I've tried my best to try and find excuses for this chap and just hoping he made a mistake. The only thing I can think of is that as I came round, here we go, he just punts me into the side. Now, the only thing I can think of that might be an excuse for him is that at that point I was uploading my video and my internet signal had just dropped out. So was I lagging all over the track? That's the only thing I can think that I did that might have caused him to do that. However, I've been looking back on it, and I'll show it again after the race. I think he's going too fast into the corner. I think if he wants to take the inside line, he's going far too quickly, and I give him, and there's plenty of room for him to manoeuvre into in order to not hit me. So unfortunately, I think he's Brexited me, based on the fact that he is alongside one of his countrymen in the other car, and just wasn't happy for me to be there. So that's what I think, but he gets a penalty and actually finishes in third. So if he hadn't done that, actually he would have finished in probably second behind me. which was really irritating and angry. But obviously I didn't give up. I finished the race as I always do, and just learn that lesson. So what I'll do next time, just to remove that variable, is make sure I'm not uploading at the same time as I'm playing on the PlayStation, and then take away that, so that can't be the case. But that's how it went down, and I'll just show you in a moment how the video from my perspective, from his perspective, and again in slow motion. But in my attempt to heal international relations, at the end I've also listed all the things that I think is good about the French, and the things they do well, in order just to say if he was doing that by accident, then I forgive him, and he can sleep happy knowing that I've fixed all the problems between our countries. But here it is. So this is me as I come through. I'm not moving slowly. I think he's going too fast, and this is it from his perspective. He's a little bit jerky. He can see me up ahead. He knows I'm on the brake, so I brake there, and he brakes way late and doesn't even attempt to take the corner. Just aims at my back and carries on and gets himself a penalty. But that's it. Hope you have a good one. Cheerio.